court win from this morning when the Supreme Court has upheld that men cannot play in women's sports. So big win for girl athletes everywhere. Keep the boys out of girls' sports. I'm wearing my shirt today that says real women aren't men. Real women are women. And we should be looking at biology when it comes to how we allow students into these sports. Of course, they are not made the same. And this was a huge win for female athletes everywhere. So yesterday we talked a lot about this situation over in Senatobia. Now I had Miss Angela Buckner call in last week and talk about being in Senatobia, boots on the ground. She is in studio with me today. We have very differing opinions and views about this situation, and we're going to break all that down. Angela, I'm going to try and get your camera fixed. I'm going to let you talk about kind of what you've seen firsthand over there in Senatobia with this incident where this 1-year-old child was shot and killed by a police officer. There's a lot of different stories circulating and a lot of differing opinions. We have not seen the body cam footage yet, but tell me what it was like being there in person. What did you see firsthand?
First off, Lindsay, I want to say thank you. Is my mic on?
Yeah, it is.
First off, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come on your platform and share with the people what I did witness firsthand. And again, when we got there, so this didn't happen last week. So now I got to recall, a lot of what I did witness. But what I did witness was a lot of people coming together, a lot of people wanting to know why. Why was a 1-year-old baby, his life taken, snuffed out for a shoplifting call? I don't see a lot of law enforcement in solidarity with this officer.
Right up to your mouth. There you go.
Okay. I don't see a lot of law enforcement standing in solidarity with this officer. Based on the press release from MBI, I'm noticing that it's almost like they're saying, listen, based on what I observed, this guy had the opportunity. He knew that there was a baby in the vehicle. This is what the press release states. This is not something that the Mike magazine is making up. And so what I witnessed was a lot of people coming together in solidarity with this family, a lot of questions, a lot of, and Lindsay, you know that I said this on the last show. Who made the call? You have changed the trajectory of the lives of so many people. I don't think that officer woke up and said, this is what I'm going to do. But I can't speak for him. But in my mind, I think he just wanted to go to work, right? And I think they just wanted to go get Pampers. And so the narrative began to change so much so that people in the comment sections of the live stream that we were bringing across were saying, oh, they should not have stolen any Pampers. And, the story was continuing to develop, and it still does. What I'm witnessing is a lot of people saying, listen, we need justice. And I even heard one guy, Patrick Lumumba, who is a local activist. He's saying that this baby Cohen Wiley, is the Emmett Till of today, 2026. He's our baby. We are still looking for answers, and the wheels of justice need to hurry up because we need answers. I don't know where the video is, when it's going to be released, but we do know that Ben Crump did a touchdown twice in Senatobia, and people are just still out marching. They're still out, and I think Walmart is still closed.
Oh, is it still closed?
I think it's still closed. So only the workers are permitted to come in, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they close it all the way down.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
And I wonder what's that going to cost the city, in taxes and revenue that helps support the city. I mean, Walmart's a big store. A lot of people shop at Walmart. And I know you've placed a lot of emphasis on who made the call, but wouldn't that be what you would do, is call law enforcement if you suspect someone of shoplifting?
Sure. But my question is, this is the same Walmart where so many people have already been traumatized, right? And I know you said something about the revenue and things like that. But what was you said you're supposed to call the police?
Well, I mean, if you suspect someone of shoplifting, wouldn't that be kind of what they're trained to do, is to call law enforcement?
Well, I would love to see Walmart's policy on that, because when we went, we noticed that there was a police officer standing when you come into the store. He's standing off to the right and he has police on his shirt. And so I spoke with the local and they said, no, you don't stand there. This is new. They're just now doing this. And so calling the police, my husband is law enforcement. And my husband does not work for Walmart. So I don't think it's fair that if shoplifting is happening, or you suspect that some type of shoplifting is happening, that you directly call the police department. I don't think it's right.
So what should they do?
They should talk to their security on the premises, because Walmarts do have security.
So every Walmart has their own security guard?
I know we do. We have security in Greenville. And I know that sounds extreme, but they shouldn't be calling the police officers directly. They don't work for Walmart. Shoplifting, that's something that Walmart is probably going to write off anyway. Okay. I don't know how much the merchandise was, other than a pack of Pampers, maybe $10. And you're calling over $10.
I don't know. Diapers, look now, diapers have got.
Well, my baby is going to be 8 this year, but
with twins, and then the baby after. I'm like, we had diapers at my house for a long time, and trust me, they cost a pretty penny.
I wanted diapers, but hey, that's a lot of time. Yeah, shoot, I'm gonna breastfeed you, but look now, I'm not doing these diapers. We're gonna wear Pampers. But yeah, I'm just trying to understand myself. Like, I don't think the person who made the call understood the magnitude of what they were doing. And then I wonder, is this person calling the police all of the other times when these other people are claiming they were traumatized? Because there were other instances where people were harmed at that very same Walmart.
By the police?
Yes, it's reported. And so I wonder if this was the same person. Now, locals called this person's name, right? And I dare not say the name because it's alleged. But
I wonder if that's something we could look up and get Walmart's actual policy, or if they have it posted somewhere, or if there is a spokesperson for Walmart and they could or let the public know what their particular policy is when it comes to shoplifting. I worked in retail growing up in high school and college, and they taught us, if you suspect someone of shoplifting, you yourself don't approach them or go after them. They wanted to keep us safe. And it was, you just let somebody else know, and then somebody higher up will handle it. Now, I don't know that I ever experienced cops having to be called, but I would think that would be who you would get involved if you suspect someone breaking the law.
Well, I guess I'm thinking as a wife when I say, don't call my husband to come in and take care of your merchandise. That's as a wife. But quite naturally, if you see something, say something, is what they say. But there were talks that these young ladies were not supposed to be on the premises, and even with that, that's only trespassing. The way this thing escalated so quickly is mind-boggling to me. Like, who trained you?
Would it have escalated though had they stopped?
I guess we'll never know.
It blows my mind that, and this is something we talked about, and you said, well, Lindsay, you're not Black. But I think this is a conversation that every parent needs to have with their children. Just comply so that you get to go home. And tragically, this is just a sad situation every single way you look at it, all the way around, because this baby lost his life. Now, I got quite a few phone calls yesterday because
I heard.
Angela, I was mad.
Why?
Because I think as a mother, when I saw her social media post, it disgusted me. I thought to myself, how dare you? You're burying your child. You just lost your baby. Here you are grinning ear to ear with wads of cash in your hands. And the only way that I can look at that is you're bragging about the money you've received from this situation where your son died. And as a mom, it infuriated me. What did you think about the social media and the posting by the mother? I know she's young.
I want to double back when you said, parents should have a talk with their children and let them know that they should comply. But I will have you know that even, I want to say on the Black side of town, in the Black community, my viewers, when we comply, it equals you die. Okay. You find that people run for their lives. People are not. One thing I noticed, my mentor retired as a police chief from law enforcement in Miami-Dade area. And he would tell me, and he was he's an older guy, but he was one of the first Blacks to come through in Detroit and all of these areas. And he said, and white people see law enforcement as their own personal security. And I said, why do you say that? He said, they pay for your meal and they tell you you're doing a good job. But see, for Blacks, it's not that way, because we know that slave patrol is how law enforcement started, modern day law enforcement, right? If you trace it all the way back. So we don't feel good about seeing police officers. We just don't.
But if you're in an emergency and you need help, if somebody's breaking in your house, are you not going to call police?
That's what I encourage people to do, but I can't tell people what to do in a state of emergency. And we're finding that people are now taking the law into their own hands. Am I saying do that? No. But generally, when you call the police, based on my observation, the person who's making the call is the person going to jail. And prime example is Leon Seals in Rankin County. He goes to jail. He's the one who calls, but he goes to jail. And that's just one example.
Goes to the hospital. Not jail.
Hey, she want to be starting something, y'all. I had to bring it out.
We got the Foot Locker jersey. Oh, Angela, come on.
We got the Foot Locker jersey, y'all, for the ones on the radio who can't see. But yeah, he would and that's just one example that I can just call out. But on our side of town, Lindsay, as Black people, yeah, we tell our people to call the police. We do. But I can't tell you how to grieve. Even with this young lady, I'm gonna now
hold that thought. We got to take a commercial break, and we have a caller. We're gonna come back. Caller, stay on the line. We're gonna come to you when we get back from this commercial break. I gotta find Miss Angela some headphones so she'll be able to hear your question. Y'all stay with us because there's a lot more to break down. It's gonna be a very interesting conversation. We, of course, from different backgrounds, different cultures, and we have very different opinions about the situation.
And mad respect for each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we should be able to have different opinions and come together and talk through things in a respectful manner. That's how this should work. So y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back here. WIAB 103.9, The Lindsay Beckham Show. Back here, WIAB 103.9, The Lindsay Beckham Show.
103.9 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable, and he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
At Sunkissed Tan and Wellness on Highway 49 in Flora, we specialize in providing exclusive tanning services and premium beauty products tailored for women. Our mission at Sunkissed is to enhance your natural beauty, offer expert advice, and create a personalized experience. At Sunkissed Tan and Wellness, step into our oasis and let us illuminate your beauty. Ask about our membership program. Find us on Facebook at Sunkissed Tan and Wellness or online at sunkissedtanandwellness.org.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Upgrade your yard this season with Hometown Hardware and Grasshopper. Hometown Hardware in Flora is now a proud Grasshopper mower dealer. Own a Grasshopper, own Mow Day. Hometown Hardware also has a great selection of outdoor power equipment from trusted names like Steel and Milwaukee, as well as Hustler. And don't forget, Hometown Hardware is your garden soil, potting mix, fertilizer, and pine straw headquarters. Hometown Hardware on Highway 49 in Flora.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We are joined in studio today by Miss Angela Buckner, the Mike Magazine. You've heard her call in, talk with Clay some, and I think she's actually even been in the studio and done a show
Twice.
with Clay. Oh, twice.
Mhm.
So she is no stranger to WYAB, and we are discussing this situation over in Senatobia. We have very different opinions on, and Angela, someone asked in the comments, where's the justice for this baby who was just shot and killed along with his mother and his aunt? And that's something Angela and I actually talked about last night, because I said, where's the outrage for that baby? We're going to get to that. We're also going to get to the Facebook post, but we have a caller. Let's see if this caller's still online. Angela, can you hear from those?
Sure.
Okay. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Angela. How you doing? It's Derek.
It's Derek.
Derek?
Can you hear?
Yes. Hey, Derek.
Hey, listen, I'm going to have to vehemently disagree with everything she just said. No, Black people don't feel that way when they call the police that if I comply, I die. That's the problem right there. This victimhood mentality. Ma'am, I am a 23-year law enforcement veteran. I come from 3 generations of law enforcement, even back in those so-called times. You don't know what you're talking about. You teaching these kids, mostly single mother households, to be victims. And you know that. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing systemic or anything like that. It's culture rot. Plain and simple. And I'm tired of people like you getting on here saying, oh, if I can die, I die because I got a black son. All these little silly little euphemisms. No, raising. I have 5 children. I have had a problem with a single one committing a crime because they were taught not to be victims. I was taught not to be a victim. And you need to stop that.
What's your definition of a victim, sir?
Ma'am, please don't play semantics. You just said it a few minutes ago. You said, if I comply, I die. No, wrong. You show me one case where the person wasn't acting out of character or doing something that was a detriment to the officer. Show me one that wasn't. Okay, I'll give you one. Orlando Castillo. I will fight that with you all day, every day. The same thing with the guy in Utah. And as a policeman, I spoke out about those. Those are isolated. There's only 2 of them out of all the ones where the person caused their own demise, including that worthless George Floyd.
Yeah,
you know what I mean when I say about the victimhood mentality. And I'm frustrated by it because I come from 3 generations of law enforcement, all black, ma'am. And that narrative is just flat out, played out and ridiculous.
And you probably don't live on the black side of town either, do you?
Well, see, there you go. There you go. Look up my father, J.C. Watts from Hickory, Mississippi. He's one of the first blacks that served as a police chief in a black town. So don't do that.
I'm just asking, do you live on the black side of town, sir? That's my only question.
Ma'am, yes, I live on the black side of town. That is a color. But see, what you have been allowed to do is allow the urban community to speak for the entire black population. Why do you think Tyler Perry is so popular? Because he showed the other side that the media fails to see. But you can't blame the media on that. I have said a long time ago that the middle America blacks need to separate from the urban community. I don't care about what they're doing in these single mother raised households, but nobody batted an eye when the girl sitting over there flashing money and fanning money after you just buried your child. It's culture rotting, you know it.
Can I answer?
Thank you.
And yes, I'm sorry, I'm angry because I'm sick of people like her getting on the radio and media saying, oh, it's systemic racism. We're fearing this. That's their private security. Wrong. It's culture rot.
Thank you.
You won't call out these single mother households. If you look at the crime rate, the prison population, and idiotic young mothers like this 20-year-old girl, they're all the product of single mother parents, of a single mother. You and I both know it. Now, how in the world does that got to do anything with racism?
Derek, I'm gonna let her respond. Thanks for calling, Derek. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you, Derek. Now I want to say this to Derek. He comes across as an angry black man, okay? And he has a right to feel the way that he feels. He may mention that he does not care what happens in a single mother household. It matters to me what happens in a single mother household. Now, for me, I was raised by both parents. Did I always do what my parents say do? No. So much so that I was a teenage mother. I did what I thought I wanted to do. I was raised properly. And he talks about how he comes from so many generations of law enforcement, and that's commendable. That's noble. We're grateful to your service to the community. But you're telling us this through the lenses of a person who says that, he's served in law enforcement, he's done this and that. But Derek, I hate to push back on you, but you sound like you're kind of out of touch with your community. And you said that people are causing their own demise, and that you will wait and for me to tell you what is going on with, the person who was not complying and things like that. But you won't give me your definition of what a victim is. And I'm asking that because it makes a difference on what your definition is, because what I see is victimhood is probably totally different from what you're saying. And I'm saying what I mean, and I'm saying how I feel. Now, he mentioned about the mother holding money. Where was this outrage when there was this wife who stood on a national platform and her husband was just murdered, and she hugged the second man in command on a national stage in front of his wife and everybody else? Now, she was grieving. Her name is Erica Kirk. No outrage there. No outrage.
Oh, I've talked about it. I've talked about how I've
not like what he just said, right? Because he's wanting examples. You're talking about a young lady who was standing there with money. Okay, Who wrote the book on how a person is supposed to grieve? Do I agree with the way Erica Kirk grieved? No, I do not. But can I tell her how to grieve the loss of her husband? I cannot. I cannot.
But Angela, I gotta say, you look at that Facebook post, and that does not look like somebody who's grieving.
Well, who wrote the book on how you're supposed to grieve? How are you supposed to look and see? And that's part of the problem.
As a mama, that's not how you look when you put your 1-year-old in the ground. As a mama, I know that.
Mhm.
You're not grinning ear to ear and flashing all your cash for people.
Mhm.
That's not grief.
Mm-hmm. Well, my thing is, who wrote the book on how you're supposed to grieve? We have an idea of what the social norm is supposed to be. But let me say this. Going back to being a teenage mother, I tell people, me and my daughter, we grew up together. I didn't know how to be a mother, but guess what? Those were choices I made. I was taught better, and I knew not to do it. But since we're here, guess what? Now I got to deal with it. There were times where I I ran away from home, and I declared and told my parents, I'm leaving. And my parents would say, well, you better leave that baby here. She's not going with you. Because doggone it, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't. And I thank God for parents and loving community who wrapped their arms around me. I didn't have all the answers, and I didn't always do it the way that people thought I should have done it. But who are we to tell this mother how to grieve? I understand that you say you're disgusted, but my question, Lindsay, why? Why are you disgusted? Why does this bother you?
Because this baby lost his life,
Mhm.
and this mom is flaunting this money that she's received because of his death. It got all over me when I saw it. I think we have another caller. Caller, you there?
Yes. Again, if you look on Facebook in the comments and read all the comments, it's one comment said, why she doing flashing the cash, okay? Can y'all hear me?
Who are we speaking with?
The lady in the video, the lady on the photo with the cash showing
Master
about her son being murdered or whatever. In the comments on Facebook, it says why she's flashing the cash.
Who are we speaking with?
Did y'all read that?
Who are we speaking with?
This is Master D.
I said, did you guys read that?
Can you not hear us?
Talking to? He can't hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all, but what I'm saying is you read the comments on Facebook.
No, I did not read the comments on Facebook.
Okay, well, it said, the comment says she's flashing the cash to show that she had money, so she did not have no reason to be stealing. That was her rebuttal to people saying that she was stealing.
I don't think anybody is denying the fact that one of these two women were stealing.
Yeah, they were saying that she was stealing. You said that she was the problem was that they were stealing out of Walmart. Isn't that what the police officer was there for?
Yeah, that's why they were called.
I read in the comments that the reason why she's showing the cash,
right? We've established
that she has money. That she has money.
Thank you.
And so maybe that was the reasoning behind her.
Well, I didn't read the comment section. All I know
either.
is I didn't pass judgment on her. You know, I didn't think that, you know, and I understand that the social norm is for you to be in tears, for you to mope about, wear black, cover your face. It just depends on what culture you're a part of. They grieve differently, but I mean, I can't tell the young lady how to grieve. And according to what the caller just said, if that's what she said or that's what the comment is about, then so be it. I mean, we've established that, and thank you so much for the call.
Yes, absolutely. Are you there, caller? Hello? Call back, caller. We could not hear that. Had a bad connection. We got to take another break, but y'all stay with us because I want to talk more about the Facebook post, and I also want to talk about this other situation, Angela, and why I think the people commenting have a point here. Why do we not see the outrage when it's black on black? Why is it all of a sudden because there's a white cop and a black baby has it sparked all of this division and the rallies and having to close down the store? I want to get your opinion. Do you think it would be that way if it was? We're gonna take a break and I'm gonna get your answer when we come back. But do you think it would be that way had it been a black cop? Y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back here at the Lindsay Beckham Show, WIB 1039. Don't go anywhere. Beckham Show, WIB 1039. Don't go anywhere.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Before closing out their term, the Supreme Court issued decisions for 3 remaining cases, including rejecting President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship under a 14th Amendment clause. Justices reaffirming all people born in the U.S. are citizens. The Supreme Court also upheld state bans on transgender athletes in women's and girls' sports.
Justice Brett Kavanaugh's majority opinion says it's reasonable to have separate sports teams for boys and girls, pointing to the inherent physical differences between the sexes. The court's holding is that states may ban transgender athletes from girls' and women's sports, with Kavanaugh citing the need to reduce the risk of physical injury and ensure fair competition. The 3 liberal justices on the court wrote separately to express their disagreement with the majority's opinion.
ABC Stephen Portnoy. NBA great LeBron James on the move. ESPN confirms James told the LA Lakers he will continue his career elsewhere. Where James goes is still unknown. This is ABC News.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Happy birthday, America, and happy Gravely savings for you. This is Joe Rooks with Revel Ace Hardware and Revel Outdoor Power. Celebrate all American savings during our July 250 sales event with up to $2,500 off MSRP on select Gravely zero-turn mowers. Act now and take an extra $250 off our best price on select Gravely models.
Hurry, Revel's July 250 sales event ends soon.
Gravely, American-made, built to mow the distance. Revel and Gravely, brands you can trust.
Got a car, truck, or SUV you are trying to sell? Well, we want to buy. Hi, I'm Casey Ellis, owner of Ellis Autoplex in Brandon. Right now, we're paying top dollar for clean vehicles, and you don't have to buy anything from us. We'll appraise your vehicle, make you a strong offer, and you can walk away with a check the same day. No marketplace maniacs or Craigslist crazies here. Our checks are real. If you've been thinking about selling, well, now's the time. Ellis Autoplex in Brandon is home of Little Truck City. Follow us on Facebook or shop online, ellisautoplex.com.
It's all systems go this month at Mazda of Jackson. With rates as low as 0% with approved credit, come test drive the all-new, fully redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. More room for you and your cargo makes the third-generation CX-5 the best yet. Mazda's best-selling SUV also comes with 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. And Mazda of Jackson still specializes in certified pre-owned vehicles with hassle-free trade-in options available. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection. I've been selling real estate now for well over 30 years, and I typically use Chadwick Home Inspectors. And Chad has done many, many home inspections for me.
They are pretty much from roof to foundation. Most people are surprised at just how thorough these home inspections can be. Been working with Rita almost a decade now. Very rarely does she let a deal fall apart. She can usually find a way to negotiate where both parties are satisfied.
RitaJensen.net.
From Mississippi, we're fake.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We're live here in the WYAB studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. We're joined in studio today by Miss Angela Buckner of the Mike magazine. We are breaking down this situation over in Senatobia. You can call into the show today if you have anything you would like to add to the conversation, 601-879-0002. We also have the Lindsay Beckham Show text line, 601-879-4648. And then also we have a chat in the live stream. The program that we use puts all the comments together in one big chat. So if you want to go to the live stream chat and add your comments there, I don't know if we'll get a chance to read them. Of course, we can stay on, Angela, if you have the time after we go off of the radio and to stay on our live stream.
Okay.
But if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to do so. Angela, I have a question for you. Do you think that we would have seen the same response had baby Cohen been a white baby?
And the officer black?
Or, I mean, if a white officer shot a white baby or a black officer shot a white baby, do you think that we would have seen this same type of reaction and response?
Probably not. I'm just being honest. We probably
But it could be the same situation, the same scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But we wouldn't see this.
No.
And why do you think that is?
In my opinion now, and I'm telling you what I know. In Leland, Mississippi, Kashia Bell's 17-year-old son was run over by a black police officer. She's a black mother. We didn't see this type of outrage when it came to her son. She's still fighting for justice. And my question is always, what does justice look like for you? We had rallies, but not to this magnitude. And we do know that there is a divide. It doesn't, you don't have to manufacture a divide in this great state of Mississippi because it's already there. We know that people are always on guard in the black community for something like this. We will come together for something like this. And I saw in the comments where they said a baby was just killed by a black baby was just killed by two black men. And I think they just did that press conference last night. I don't know where the outrage is. The story is continuing to develop. I just pray. You see, when it comes to black on black crime, to me, we see more retaliation, more so than marching and things like that, because a lot of people want to take the street route and get what they call street justice. So you're not going to see too much of the protesting with the black on black. Is that the way to go? No. And I don't encourage anybody to take anything out in the streets. But that's been my observation. And so when somebody black is shot in our community, I'll say, oh my God, I hope there's no retaliation. That's what my mind thinks. Not let's get out there and rally. Because for one thing, we're trying to figure out why did this happen? And, we don't show as much grace for white men because in my opinion, they have the world handed to them. They didn't have to work for anything. It's just they're entitled. And that's just how some of us feel. I won't say all of us. But, you get to cry the white girl tears, the white boy tears, and people come to your rescue. So when a white man kills a black baby, we're going to turn up. We're going to turn up. But it's not balanced. If that's what you're asking, it's not equally balanced.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think we have a caller. Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Tyree Nichols was in Memphis was killed by black officers, and you had major protests up there. So I think it's the circumstances, and sometimes if there's video or depending on where it occurs and the circumstances is what tends to mobilize protests. If you look at Renee Good in Minnesota, a lot of people saw that killing through their filter. But you had a lot of protests because some people thought that was murder. Some people said, well, legally he had the right if he believed that his life was in danger. But then some people said that was murder. So I think it's the circumstances for the 1-year-old baby. I think that would ignite protest, and it should be protested until you get the facts. But it looks a little suspicious. Because I'm hearing some things that, well, if the officers knew that there was a child in the car, good policing practices may say you might not want to shoot into a car with a baby in there.
But if a car is coming at you and is going to hit you and possibly injure or kill multiple people.
Okay. But do you realize that when you shoot into a car, you still have that driver? If you hit that driver, that car may still careen out of control. If you saw Renee Good, when that man shot her, that car took off and ran to another car. So again, that's not good police practices. If you look at that's a last resort. And I think you can grok it, you can Google it, and anywhere in the country they tell you it's not good police practice to shoot into moving vehicles. And then again, for shoplifting, there are other ways to mediate that or remedy shoplifting. That's best practice.
Again, you say that, and that's the comment I've heard over and over. This was over some Pampers. This was about, but it wasn't. That's not why the shot was fired. It wasn't because they shoplifted or stole something.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. That's the allegation. That is the allegation that's made that I believe. And again, if the officer believed his life was in danger, he may not lose his job, may not be prosecuted. But at the end of the day, is it good policing? Is it good police practice to shoot into a vehicle with a baby in there? And you can ask any law enforcement officers around the country, and if you took a poll, they would say, I wouldn't shoot into a car with a baby only as a last resort. But this officer got 2-3 shots off. So, if the car is coming at me in theory, I'll give you a prime example. If I don't have a weapon and the car is coming at me, am I going to look for a rock or something, or am I just going to jump out the way? But because I have a gun, if I'm just Joe Citizen, I don't have the right to say, well, the car was coming at me, it was going to hit me. I believe it was going to hit me, so I shot him.
Can I answer him?
You're probably going to jail, but that's not law enforcement.
All right, John, Angela's going to answer you. Okay, and then we got to take a break. Sorry. Thanks for calling. All right, go ahead, Angela.
All right, now he mentioned Tyree Nichols, how the people mobilized in Memphis. I was there for that. One thing I noticed, he's saying that they mobilized, but what he didn't know possibly is that a lot of those activists who did show up for the Tyree Nichols situation were what we call beefing. What I'm finding is a lot of these people who show up to these rallies for people like what happened with Tyree, they are looking for glory. They're looking for, they want to be prominent. A lot of them are not there for justice for the family. They are there to stake a claim and claim that they are the ones who's going to speak for the family, and they don't want certain people invited. It is so much division if they come together for a Black cause, and it's short-lived. And that there was a lot of talk, a lot of bad talk about Tyree Nichols behind the scenes within the Black community. And they'll tell you, I'm not going out there. And they said, why? And with the Renee Good, yeah, they're like subgroups within the groups of activists when it comes to these Black people mobilizing. So they don't really like each other. They're out there beefing. Okay. And that's short-lived as well. I didn't see a lot of Black people for Renee Good. Clay even mentioned that he noticed, a lot of Black people were not going to insert themselves into what was happening with that situation. And a lot of people on my social media timeline seemed unbothered by what was happening. And my question about the officer, why was he the only officer who felt like his life was in danger? If that was a reasonable thing to do, I thought maybe
because
shots would have been fired from several ways.
Maybe because that's the officer the car is headed towards.
Well, it's talks now, and it's not been confirmed that officer was nowhere near their car. He put himself in the way. So we're just waiting for the body cam footage to be released, because it can get pretty messy. But with the he say, she say, and
I think we'll understand a lot more once we do see, and eventually we will see the body cam footage. I know there's some speculation over you want to wait until the grand jury decides whether or not to prosecute before you release that, because you don't want anybody there to already have an opinion formed, of course.
Because we're going to try you in the court of public opinion, believe it or not. That's
Right.
what's happening right now. The thing about prosecutors, they get to suppress things. I don't trust prosecutors. So much so that here we are now. Listen, we have information that's just coming out saying that a woman spent 11 years in prison. Scott Cologne was the district attorney at that time. And she never should have stayed in prison. She never should have been in prison. From what I'm told, this was a unaliving of self. And Scott Cologne, in my opinion, as a prosecutor, he's incompetent, because I'm seeing now that he has a legacy, based on what I'm told, of putting people in jail and taking them out. They shouldn't be there anyway. I don't trust prosecutors. I know they have a job to do, but when we're talking about handing down an indictment for Hunter Foster, I am just curious as to see if we'll get an indictment. We do know Lynn Fitch is our attorney general. She's pro law enforcement. And I'm just curious as to see what she's going to.
It's going to be interesting for sure. We got to take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We can stay on the live stream after we go off air if there's still people who are wanting to hear us discuss this. There's a lot to break down. And it goes by so fast. We'll be right back here at WIAB 103.9, The Lindsay Beckham Show. We'll be right back here at WIAB 103.9, The Lindsay Beckham Show.
103.9 WYAB.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable. And he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Hi, this is Allen Allen, nurse practitioner at the MEA Medical Clinic in Flora, Mississippi. Located in the Cotton Exchange Plaza, we are here to provide patient-centered care that is thorough, compassionate, and convenient. Whether you need primary care services or same-day medical care when you aren't feeling your best, we're here to support your health.
MEA Medical Clinics.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Ma. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
Looking to make technology work for your business instead of the other way around? Visit brentech.ms today. From reliable network infrastructure and wireless internet to cloud or on-premise backups, Brentech has solutions that keep your business connected, secure, and running smoothly. Don't let tech headaches slow you down. Discover how Brentech can simplify and elevate your business at brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. Brentech, technology made easy.
From Mississippi, where faith, family, and freedom still matter. This is the Lindsay.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We only have about a minute left. I want to say thank you to Angela Buckner from the Mike Magazine for coming in today and having a one-on-one respectful conversation, even though we differ in the culture and the background that we come from and our opinions on this topic. We're still able to sit down and talk about it and ask each other questions and do it in a way that is respectful. And I feel like that's missing in so many situations across America today. We just write people off if we don't agree with them.
Right.
Thank you, Angela, for taking the time to come in. We're going to stay online on the live
Thank
stream,
you.
and we're going to tell the radio audience goodbye. I'll be back here tomorrow at the same time and the same place. And this has been a topic that you guys are very interested in. So if this is what you want to talk about, we'll keep talking about it. There's going to be a lot of other things to break down, these Supreme Court rulings, and we'll get into all of that tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Hope you all have a great day. Okay, Angela, one thing you've said.
I can face this camera here.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing you've said a couple of times that I disagree with is it's Mississippi and there's already such a divide. I don't see that in my day-to-day life. I don't see this racial division. Am I just not in the right place? Am I just not looking closely enough? I don't know anybody that's a part of the KKK. I've never met a Klansman. I mean, I'm sure the Southern Poverty Law Center could point us in the right direction since they seem to be funding them.
There you go. She want to be starting something.
Yeah, I got to get those digs in where I can.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't go looking for it. I just know that historically it exists. If I'm in Walmart, I'm passing somebody. Oops, excuse me. That's my fault. I think at the end of the day, we all want to come together and have peace in this great state of Mississippi. We let people come through in traffic, things. I don't go looking for a Karen, if you will, or Darren. But we do know that it does exist, historically speaking. But again, I think we have more so in common than not. And, we love our babies. We love to go to church. Some of us, we like to have a good time. We love good food, soul food, Southern food, Southern tea, whether it's talking or drinking, the tea that you talk, or I think we love each other.
Look, I love fried chicken and watermelon as much as the next one.
Thank you. And watermelon is good for you, okay? So don't let nobody keep you away from that watermelon, okay?
Not when you pour a pound of salt on it like my daddy used to do.
I love it. Listen, the salt does something for it.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
But yeah, and I think we love each other more so than what we like to say. You know, when I first met you in person, we finally made it out of the comment section. You were at an event at the Capitol.
We were at the Capitol.
You had on all red. What was the name of that event?
Oh, I think I was at an education committee meeting.
Nah, that was like the Daughters of Confederates or something.
No, it was not. It was not, Angela. Now who's starting something over there?
No, I had to. Well, at least that's what the statue says on the outside.
Look, I'm walking by and she's standing there leaned against the statue, and I'm recording, making to my social media, making a story about how this meeting just went that I'm walking out of, and Angela says, Lindsay, and I look over and I was like, Angela,
we made it out the chat. And it's like we've been knowing each other all our lives, and you didn't say, "Oh, don't touch me now, don't touch." We hugged. We took a picture. I sent it to Clay. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And so I don't think people look to hate anybody.
I don't look at you and see a black woman. Yeah. I just see Angela.
Right. I see Lindsay.
Right.
And we're different quite naturally. But I love the fact that you're not like me. I love that.
That's what makes it great.
I want to hear what Lindsay has to say. Even though Lindsay don't even care for Sean Timberland, I do. Right, and I do. But you know, I just love the chemistry. I love that we can talk to each other, even though we don't agree. Because you were looking at me across the way, like I know she did. Are you?
Look, I can't hide. There's no hiding.
Your eyes talk.
These facial expressions. That's why I got all these wrinkles, because I cannot hide what I'm thinking. You see it all over the space.
Right. And if it's funny, honey, I'm gonna laugh and I might scream if it's real funny, you know, because the laugh lines, they're gonna be there. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna live.
That's the one thing I'm jealous about.
What?
When you black women, black don't crack.
That's not always the case, though. We have to take care of ourselves too. But you know, you just give us a little soap and water, we good.
Some lotion for that ashy skin.
Some oil. We gotta use Vaseline or oil, you know, because the lotion will wear off after a while, you know. And we wear sunscreen, believe it or not. We do wear sunscreen. But yeah, man, I think we should be able to sit down and laugh about the differences and cry together if necessary, you know. But
and I think that's what's missing here. This whole situation has become about bad cops and white versus black, and you know, I seriously shed tears for this baby because in all actuality, that's the tragedy of the situation. This child's no longer with us, regardless of how we got to that point. That's the end.
He's never
coming back. And while I don't agree with the mother's actions and the way that she's using her social media right now, my heart hurts for her.
What were you doing when you were 18, 19, 20, Lindsay? Come on.
I mean, I didn't have a baby, but had I had a baby and lost a baby, I promise you, I wouldn't have been grinning on social media holding a bunch of money.
But see, that's where you get leverage. You get to cry the white girl tears. We don't do that. Black girls cry. Nobody cares. Listen. Black girls
you mean the white girl tears?
Listen, white girl tears get them through the door. White girl tears, people listen. They care. You know, let a black girl cry. We better suck it up. They treat us like we're a dude.
But you're saying that as though you cry to get the attention. If I lost my 1-year-old child, I'm going to cry because there's no stopping it, because I am hurting, grieving, dead inside. I mean, that's my biggest fear in life.
But we don't know. She's probably cried several times. But do we want her to plaster that on as opposed to saying, hey, I got money to pay for Pampers? You know,
I mean, you gotta admit, Angela, it's not a good look.
It may not be a good look in your opinion, but she's trying to drive a point, according to the caller, right? That she can afford to pay for Pampers, and that was never the case. And would you rather her sit on a stack of money or hold up just a few dollars? I mean, what do you want from her? At the end of the day, what do you want from this young mother? What do you want from her, Lindsay?
I think she should. I mean, I think she should feel some regret, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Why?
I don't think she went into that store and to come out with a baby who's never going to be with
No,
her
of course
again.
not. And I don't think a cop woke up that day and said, I'm going to kill a 1-year-old baby.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is, something was going on. They were doing something they shouldn't have been, or they wouldn't have been trying to get away as quickly as they were. Why is this baby not in a car seat?
See, here we go, majoring in the minors.
But that, to me, that's not minor, because if this mother had put the baby in the car seat, he wouldn't have been in the line of fire.
So you're saying the mother would have been dead then, because
we don't know that.
Who else would have been? Who else?
I mean, she might have been shot, but do we know that she'd have been dead? I mean, this baby's a much smaller human. A 1-year-old's a much smaller human than this mom.
Listen. He wasn't in the car seat.
But
So
why? That's my question. Why?
It matters not now, because he's not coming back, right? The thing is, the baby was killed. Baby Cohen Wiley was murdered over a shoplifting call. And for somebody who thinks that,
but it wasn't over a shoplifting call. It was, according to the police, it was because the cop felt his life was in danger.
He responded to a shoplifting call. Let's say it like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Okay. He responded to a shoplifting call. And my question is, who trained him? Who trained you to shoot a baby? Who trained you to shoot a baby?
Well, I don't know that he knew he was shooting a baby.
According to the MBI's release, he knew a baby was in that car. And it was established 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. And the second time, one of which the mother said she showed him, hey, a baby is in this car.
See, that's strange in and of itself to me. I just put myself in that scenario, in that situation. And as a mom, I feel like I would have been shielding the baby, not holding it up. And I get that she's saying she wanted to show the officer that there was a baby, but if the officer already knew there was a baby, then why if
the officer knew it was a baby, why did he shoot? You know, like my question is, who trained you? Did you go to Pearl Academy? Because some go to MDCC, some go to Pearl, some come in from out of state. Who trained you that it's all right to do what you did? I still don't want the person to get away who made that call. We need to know who that person is. It needs to be brought up. I think Clay Edwards will be the one to probably crack that one. Yeah, somebody said, who trained him to shoot a shoplifter? Let's look at some of the comments. You got comments we want to address?
Yeah, and I mean, and I just got one right now. And trust me, Eric, I'm getting to it. I'm going to get to that. He said, wow, Lindsay, so much for the conservative lioness we thought you were. Just sit there and take it. White girl tears, white man privilege.
Say something.
I do want to say something.
Say something
Do you
for
think,
your viewers? Let them know you ain't crying white girl tears.
No,
but that's how we refer to it.
Well, when you think about the white community, though, you see privilege. You see white privilege.
I do. Because
do you want to see that with all white people?
Yes. Yes, Lindsay, yes.
Angela.
I do. Even with the poorest white person.
That's me.
You're not poor.
I'm poor. Trust me. I'm the poorest white person.
But I do. And it's something, about going back to history and driving the propaganda and you all believing, getting on the train. Not everybody, but people believe in, the fact that, hey, just because you're white, let me tell you something. You can get a white boy, put him in a shirt, tie, blazer, dumb as a box of rocks. He looks like he knows what he's doing. Why? Because we have media, movies, things like that, who make us believe that white is right. White is right. This is the narrative that was driven, all the years of my life, so much so that I didn't even want a black baby doll. My daddy had a friend who,
I wanted a black baby doll.
I didn't, but then I learned, hey, and there's a study out there about that as well. You give a black child a black baby doll, give them the white one. And in the study, they chose the white one. And I'm just telling you how deep the propaganda has gone, even to the psyche of children. My dad's friend, who was military, he was married to a white woman. They had biracial children. He would make certain every Christmas he would give me a black baby doll. I'm like, why does he do this? And here I am, 46 years old, and I appreciate it because it made me understand that he was showing me that black is beautiful too. And I see some beautiful white girls, beautiful, handsome white boys. Never been with a white boy in my life. I know a good looking one when I see one now, and I think white women should be having white babies. This is how I feel. You ask me, do I really think that? Yes.
You don't think that a couple can be mixed race?
Yeah, but it's going to be difficult for their children. I don't know if you've ever heard the testimony of biracial children.
Well, I have one, so I hear the testimony all the time.
No, you don't.
I sure do. My oldest daughter, my 17-year-old.
So
it's half black.
Where does she fit in it? How does she feel? I know
she
she's
has black
loved.
friends. She has white friends.
She's loved by her mom.
Mm-hmm.
But the testimonies that I've heard is, man, I go to my grandparents' house on the white side. We don't jump around. We go to church. We don't jump around and stuff like that. But I felt a difference in how I was treated. Even though my white grandparents, this is a recent testimony. My white grandparents, I was the first grandbaby. And it sounds like your baby was the first.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll tell you they're treated differently. And they can call bull crap when they see it, when it comes to racism. People don't want to talk about racism, but those biracial babies, I'm not saying you can't love who you want to love. Do it. But there's a story in the Bible, in the book of Ezra, where God made them send all those women back. You got to send the women and the babies. The men were crying. It's the reason why, people want you to stay within your race. It's the reason why. You're going to wake up one day, Lindsay, and you're not going, and I know Eric is on your post, but you're going to wake up and nobody is going to be white like you if white women keep having black babies.
But what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing. But the narrative is our men are being shot in the groins. Our men are being killed because the white man think he just got to have you. That's how they feel.
Wait.
Based on history.
What now?
The white man feels that the black man is out to be with a white woman. He got to have a white woman. They're shooting them in the groins. They're killing them. They're lynching them. Things like that because they don't want. Look at the Goon Squad. That young man.
That wasn't just black people.
Hold on. That I know, but you got the Goon Squad. Michael Corey Jenkins, I think, was dating a white girl. I think he's married to a white girl. People don't like when you go outside the race. And then they count you a casualty. They count you a misfit. They're gonna.
We're so past that. And I know.
Girl, stop. So you mean to tell me I can marry the most white, the whitest of the white boy today and not catch no backlash?
Who would you get it from?
You think I'm welcome to the barbecue, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Come to my barbecue anytime. I don't know how to cook, but I don't know how to barbecue, but come on.
Well, bring the watermelon. I'll show up.
I'll bring the watermelon. But no, seriously, when you say the white girl tears and you have white privilege, what opportunities do I have that you don't?
You tell me. Come on.
Lindsay. I don't.
Lindsay, okay, quite naturally. You have
I'm dead serious.
You have a radio show.
I do.
You got a radio show.
That's because have a big mouth.
I would love to have a radio show, right? But I have to pay. I have to make sure I go out and get sponsored. And I know that's the way you're supposed to do it. Right?
We all have to get our sponsors here.
Right. But I would have a harder time getting sponsors as a black girl.
I see your live streams. You got all kind of sponsors.
I know, but it's still not like my competitors. It's still not like the Clay Edwards. It's not like the Lindsey Beckhams. I have people, they're not spending the money you think they're spending because I pride myself on being affordable, right? So I have to take a back seat sometimes, and sometimes I donate things. Lindsay, I donate stuff. I do not have the privilege to get on TV, have a show.
I'm gonna push back on this.
White privilege allows you the opportunity to walk around Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and look like you know what you're doing in the classroom. And we turn out and find out that later on in the years, you weren't even the one taking those classes. Somebody was taking your class for you.
And you don't think that happens with the black football players?
Look at the parents who just went to prison because they wanted their children to go to Ivy League. Guess what? They paid to play. And that's the way it is.
And you don't think that happens with black people?
Yes, I do. But we learned it from the white people. Come on now, in my opinion.
No, look, I'm going to push back on you a little bit there. Because when obviously Clay's very successful. He has built his platform. He's worked his ass off to do it.
Right.
Now, when he first started out, he would call up companies and businesses and ask them, can I just use your name and say you're my sponsor for free? I don't want you to pay me anything, just so it will look like I have sponsors. And that's how he started. He wasn't able to just walk out there and have a bunch of sponsors hand him a check.
Right. It's all about perception. It's all about perception. I've served as a general manager of a radio station before. It's all about perception.
But black people have the same opportunities.
But look, I had to cut my prices lower just to get some clients as a black general manager. And I was number one under the umbrella that I worked under in Greenwood. So much so that the lady from the other station had to come and see who this youngster was working over at an AM station, killing it. But I had to drive my prices down.
And you think that's because you're black? Not because you were just starting out? Or
what do we got over there? Max 99? Max 99 ain't begging for money. Max 99 has accounts on top of accounts in the Greenwood area. And I think they're 50,000 watts, we had to work harder and we have to put a lot of effort into what I don't have privilege.
But white people do too.
You do, but guess what? You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to.
Yes, you do.
No,
you do.
Why?
Because when you're starting out, nobody knows who you are. You have to hustle. White people and black, we have this.
Okay.
Angela, you and I, we have the same opportunities in this country.
Lindsay, your opportunities are here. Mine is here. I have to work so hard to get there. That's if I want to get there, because I'm in my own lane. I don't even try to be like my competitors. I just stay in my own lane. I do it the way I do it. And doggone it, if I donate some airtime to somebody, that's what it is. It's what it is, because that's what I want to do. And it helps for me to help to push people's narrative. I'm pushing campaigns for people, white and black, because I believe in what they're talking about. I believe in the vision. I believe in what they're talking about. And other than that, I don't turn my mic on. I don't turn.
You are the mic. What you talking about? You're the mic.
No, right. But the white girl tears, it seemed like Eric was kind of moved by that. It doesn't mean she's not conservative. Lindsay is the most conservative next to Clay. Lindsay will knock a joker out. She ain't playing no games. And if it comes across as disrespect, that's not what I'm doing. I think we just have a conversation.
I just hate that you feel that way. It bothers me that
you
feel that way.
Stop letting it bother you.
It bothers me that you feel like you don't have the same, that we don't start out on the same playing field, because that's not my opinion. That's not what I see in my day-to-day life. In my experiences, that's not how it is. Comments over here are.
What are your comments saying?
Geez, you should have really read all the rest of my stuff. Eric, I hadn't had time to. The comments are coming through at a rapid pace over here. The black community, because they're racist, she's admitting it. Are you people not hearing this? Because no one black woman out there has a radio show. How does she know what money they're spending with you?
I don't care about how much money they spend, and I'm saying the opportunities are different.
Darla says, tell that to Oprah.
Oprah was chosen.
She was Here we go. You got
Oprah is not like us.
Kosciuszko, Mississippi, pregnant.
When's the last
teenage pregnancy?
What has she done? It's Kosciuszko. Okay, Oprah. that should be the mecca for people. That should be, hey, when you go to Mississippi, we want you to go to Kosciuszko. Ask the people about Oprah. Has Oprah done anything to make people say, we're so proud she's from Mississippi? When's the last time she came back?
I don't know. I don't care for her anyway. So her liberal mindset.
Well, hey, it's neither here nor there. I got people saying, "Oh my God, she is delusional."
Who, me?
They said I'm delusional.
David Funches. So why are you wasting your time with her, Lindsay? Well, because I think we do need to sit down and have these conversations and do it in a respectful way.
How I feel if you don't talk to me.
Look, Candace Owens,
cut me out.
Candace Owens, Robin Roberts, Maggie Wade.
Mm-hmm. Who is Candace Owens? You talking about
these are all very
Erica.
These are all very successful Black women.
Yeah.
Robin Roberts is from Mississippi. Maggie, I mean, you think they didn't have the same opportunities as white women?
I do. I think they not had the same opportunities. I think they had to work diligently to be recognized for the what it is that they offer, their contribution. If you see somebody like Oprah worked really hard to just be recognized. She worked.
But I think everybody has to work to be recognized in the beginning.
No, you don't, Lindsay.
I do.
I do. Lindsay, you're beautiful. When you recognized off the top, you are a pretty girl with a cap on. You're gorgeous. Come on.
But that doesn't mean everything's handed to me.
I didn't say that. But privilege does exist. You don't have to say anything, girl. They be like, who is that? Bring her in here. Look, how do you feel about doing this, and this? We want to make you the face of our company.
Where are these people?
Hypothetically speaking. But, just historically speaking, and just to be serious, I believe that there is a such thing as white privilege. I do. There's a such thing as white preservation, and you should want to preserve your own race. That's why I said white. We need white.
But what are the human race?
The human race, all of it is one race. At the end of the day, we're all one race.
We all bleed red.
We do. But
God loves me as much as he loves you and vice versa.
He does. And I believe that. I truly believe that.
And we were both made in the image of God, our creator.
Yes, I believe that. I truly believe that.
David says they're always the victim, never take accountability for any wrongdoing. I don't know.
What did I do wrong?
I don't know that you need to take
I
accountability.
to see what I did wrong.
But that's, we've heard that, that word victim. We've heard that word victim a lot.
No, I'm not a victim because, like I said, I'm down here, you up here. But you know what I do?
See, I just completely
that's
disagree.
my opinion. That's just my opinion. Listen, just listen what I'm saying. I know. What I'm saying is I stay in my own lane. I don't try to be somebody I'm not. I don't try to be like Oprah or Candace. I just be Angela. Mike Magazine. I'm right here in Mississippi doing what I'm supposed to do.
And you have thousands more followers than I do.
But that's because, Lindsay, I worked like the Dickens from 2010. I didn't just jump up and be Angela Buckner, the Mike Magazine. I started out Angela Simpson, Section 8, lost my Section 8 accidentally, ended up learning how to survive without it. You talk about victim. I didn't want to pass that down to my daughter. She's not on Section 8. She's married. She just got married this month. We just celebrated with her in Orlando, Florida. That's not the legacy I wanted for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't hand that down to her. I had both parents in the house, but my parents were common law married. They weren't even married.
Well, I think that marriage is kind of a joke. Why does the government need to tell us we're married?
But the Bible, you're a Bible believing girl, Lindsay.
But I think you can commit to someone. The government. Why is the government?
Big government. And a lot of people say we don't want big government, but we're seeing it. Government tells you when to move, how to move, what to do.
Trust me, I know.
And we love them for it.
But what I'm saying though, Angela, is that you were able to come out of that situation and make a better life for because you had those opportunities as a black
the
woman, and you
drive.
worked hard
And the
for them.
drive.
But you
I'm
worked
no
hard, but it's
victim.
possible. You worked hard, but it is possible.
It's possible, but it takes longer. It takes long. Lindsay,
Angela.
Lindsay, you just started this show and it's taking off like whoa. And I'm happy for you. I
don't know if it's taking off like it's been over a year. And
you
look,
got 50,000
you want to sponsor the Lindsay Beckham show?
I know, right?
Hit me up.
I know, right? but it took me longer. 2010 to 2026. Man, it took me longer. And I paid my dues. Man, my resume is massive. I've done some things, man. I'm telling you. Worked for Jackson Advocate fresh out of college. Then I ended up at ESPN, had to sign confidentiality agreement with Disney, and I didn't even know Disney was a parent company for ESPN. All of this. Now, I have been some places, and when I tell you I love what you're doing, I mean that, Lindsay. And you allow me to feel the way I feel. It may bother you, but you said, tell me why. Let me know, why do you feel like that? Explain it. Might get a little bit off here and there, emotional, laughing and things, but you allow me to be Angela.
Yeah.
You don't tell me, you can't feel that way. And that's what I love about you. Clay never tells me, you can't feel like that, Angela. You can't feel that way. That's why I respect Clay Edwards. He don't tell me how to feel. And I don't try to tell you guys how to feel. I
try to tell him how to feel sometimes.
I know, right? And I might say, why? Why does it bother you? But I'm not gonna tell you not to be bothered. Some people say, oh, she's got the victim mentality. Had a black guy call in and say, victim. Well, I'm trying to have a decent conversation with you. I'm writing down what you're saying. But when I ask you, tell me your definition of a victim, you can't even give me what your simple definition is so that we can have a decent dialogue. And that's fine. That's fine.
Have you seen some of these groups of women, these white women who sit around, and I think Matt Walsh showed this in his documentary, Am I Racist? And
who?
Matt Walsh. And they're sitting around, these white women are sitting around, and they are start to cry and apologize for being white.
Oh man, come on.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? We can't help what color we're born.
No, we cannot.
And I never enslaved you. And I don't know, I've never met a slave. So I think when we focus so much on the past and carry that with us, it stops us from being able to move forward. I'm not saying that we don't remember it, because we have to remember it so that it never happens again.
Well, what we do know is that a lot of this history is being erased. The Supreme Court is saying, no, put it back. What a lot of people don't understand, Lindsay, is this. Those black and white pictures, some of those people are still alive. No, I've never seen a slave like the ones who came from Africa, but slavery still exists. We have the prison system. We have people now in the UK. I was researching. They're putting chips in these prisoners, doing research on these prisoners. Look at the Tuskegee Airmen. They did research on them. And sometimes you probably, I guess they feel obligated to go along to make certain that, this research is done properly. We even had white men who were, I think, in a gas chamber or something. They did research on these guys. Their eyes were bulging out. They were just using them as research. To me, that's a form of slavery, because to make a person feel like they have to be loyal to this research or whatever cause it is.
But white people are used for research too, though.
Yes, they are. That's what I was just saying. And so to say that I've not seen a slave in shackles, no. But slavery, the system still exists today. It still does.
Have you ever had a white person just be downright ugly to you for racist reasons?
What's ugly? What's your definition?
Or just be mean to you, or make racial slurs towards you? Have you experienced that?
I out of all of my 46 years, I can't say that somebody white just came to me and just started doing that. No. And I'm from Mississippi.
Right.
No.
So that's my point. I just don't see it.
So you proved your point.
Well, obviously not, because you still feel a certain kind of way.
Yeah, but I'm listening. To you, and I'm taking in what you're saying. No, I can.
I mean, because if somebody, you just tell me where they are, I'll go find.
I know, right? Because we gonna step. But no, let me see what these comments are saying here. They're jumping in the comments for whatever.
I know mine are blowing up over here too.
I got people going back and forth with each other.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. What are your comments saying?
It bothers me that she says praise the Lord, but she's constantly throwing the privilege card. God doesn't throw cards.
Man, what God? Listen.
I love what you're doing, even though it was super easy and you didn't have to work hard or have principles and just have white girl tears.
Who is it, Eric?
No, Eric said he's gone. He said this was a waste of his time. He'll see me tomorrow.
but they're in here though. A lot of them are still in here. So okay, Jay, what's this? Jay says light white is all the way right, and that's a lie. We do know that is just a saying. That is a saying, honey.
Eric did say before he left, I guess, that's the literal definition of victim mentality. It's what you believe, even if it's not true.
What do you say? The victim mentality is what you believe, even
if it's not true.
But you got to remember, I don't know what's that name of that movie, Birth of a Nation. They didn't even say anything in that movie, and it's still, you had the sitting president played that in the White House because the guy who wrote it, if I'm not mistaken, was his good friend. They went to college together or something. We have to remember that we allowed this type of propaganda to go out to the masses, and you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube once it's out, but we can learn to get along. We can live together. We can love each other. We can look past the hurt. We can look past it. We can get through the trauma. But what we don't want to do is act like it didn't happen, because we do know people were lynched. We do know,
absolutely,
that people are treated differently by some folks. And
Roger said, you're listening to respond, you're not listening to hear and understand. Which one of us, Roger? Because I think we've both been listening.
I think so too. Okay, somebody said they want blacks to 200% act white for their comfort because they are extremely afraid of us. Are you afraid of black people? Now that's a good one.
Well,
when you're on the elevator, right?
If I'm in Jackson, Lindsay!
Because
I
think that's a fair question.
It's dangerous.
Okay.
And every single day we hear about murders in Jackson.
Because that's what they want you to hear about. It's good stuff going on in Jackson.
There is, but
if it bleeds, it leads. And we know this about media. And I would like to say shame on my colleagues for, not putting out there the good stuff. Here, Megan Clearman says, shut the H up. Such a man. Silence the women.
Do what? Who's she talking to?
Oh, Lord, she's talking to some guy. They're going back and forth. White men are mad as H because interracial relationship, but they are extremely quiet about it and secretly mad as H, and they disguise it very well. But yeah, they are mad as F. Well, let me tell you something. If we got a black man who wants to be with a white girl, he's not my man. He don't belong to the black race. He belongs to who he loves.
I agree.
Do
you think white men are angry when they see a black man with a white woman?
I don't think so.
I mean, I've never seen one say they're angry about it.
I don't think so. And matter of fact, they'll beat you up. I think like if a white man is with a black woman, I think he's looking at you like, what's the problem? Because he knows that he's got to protect her, whether it's from his race or her race. Now, because they understand the dynamics of what they're going into, in my opinion. I'm not going to let nobody hurt you, kind of. And you got the black women who say, you're not going to hurt my husband. You're not going to talk to my husband in any kind of way. There are TikToks out there where you got the interracial couple, and the lady say, my nice, easygoing husband, and then she'll push him out the way and say, now talk to me, because they love each other. And it's like, we're in this thing, together, and I think it's beautiful. But would I marry a white boy? No. No.
You're so racist, Angela.
I know. I wouldn't. I mean, there's some gorgeous white boys out there. I want him with a white girl, so his race, he don't wake up one day and everybody black. That's my, because if you look at what, I don't know if you ever heard of Frances Cress Wilson, I think that's her name. She passed away. She talks a lot about self-preservation, and it is not wrong to want to preserve your race. Goes back to you saying this show, Matt Walsh, and am I a racist? Why are you crying because you're white? You didn't make yourself, right? And
or apologizing. I mean, why do I need to
being
apologize to you for something that happened however many years ago? It wasn't me.
No,
I can't control what happened before I was born.
And we don't expect you. I don't expect an apology. Now it would be nice to get 40 acres and a mule, or whatever it was they promised us, but we never gotten reparations. Black people are the only ones who have been pimped in this nation, and I know they don't want to hear that either. But anytime your president says that he has a slush fund, and he didn't call it that, his liberal, what do y'all call them? The
Democrats.
his buddies in Congress, Republicans and Democrats came together on this. They said, no, you're not going to have a slush fund for J6ers. We're not going to let you do that. We had law enforcement who were hurt, things like that. It just showed the black community that if he can get money together for J6ers, they could get money together for black people. Now, are we victims? No, but we need some money too. You got Asian people, they can come over here and start a hotel for little of nothing. They got good credit. You think they worked for this? You think they worked for this? I don't think so.
Asians?
Everybody gets treated better than us.
Tell that to these boys that can play football.
Well,
they get treated pretty good.
That's for entertainment purposes. And see, that's the thing. We've always been looked on as entertainment. Make me laugh. Make me laugh.
I don't look at you and think, okay, entertain me.
I ain't say you, but I'm
but
just,
you're putting white people in one category.
Look, historically,
I have a question.
Historically,
I have a question.
We are used for entertainment. Make me laugh. Box. Get out there and box each other. Get out there and wrestle each other.
Well, I mean,
let's
you got to
admit who the strongest one is.
You got to admit, there's something about the way black men's bodies are, because they're just better.
Well,
they can run faster, they can jump higher. They're just more athletic.
Well, it just depends on who you ask too, because we got some white boys that's cornbread fed right here from the South.
Not nearly as many, though.
Not as many, but they're strong. You got some big, strong, buff white boys. But I agree with you. I totally agree, because the makeup, all of that it puts us at an advantage. And that's why we were used to build a nation. I know a lot of people say we built this nation too, but we're nation builders. We didn't get sick as much. We were able to.
Y'all must not have gotten those vaccines.
Huh?
Y'all must not have gotten those vaccines.
No, not back then. No. What they call inoculations. But no, we the makeup of black people, we just, I can't even just trying to say it. We can put up with a lot of heat. We could take a lot. And even in the medical field, they think that when we cry and say we need pain medicine, that we're just putting on. We don't really need anything for pain because we can take it. And that was written in a medical
Angela.
book. That was in a medical book. I'm telling you. Black people can take it. And that came from an expert. I'm telling you, look it up.
So you're saying
and not just black. The Irish girls, they think, the girls with the red hair, the gingers, that they don't need as much pain medicine because they say they can take it too. you
Well,
know,
if they're redheaded, they're white.
well, they're white, but they're Irish. And we know that they are the lowest. They the Irish were treated like black people are treated. How do you say it? Irish people were at the bottom of the barrel when it came to the white race. You had white people, but they had the groups.
So do you think there's racism inside the white?
It is. Look at the TikToks. They'll tell you, even when they went to school, they were treated differently and all types of stuff. Yeah, and that's why I believe with the Irish, they were like, look, I ain't gonna be poor no more. I'm working hard. You got majority of them are successful because they did not take on that victim mentality.
Angel, answer me this. We both come in here and sit at this microphone and get in front of a screen and rant and rave about something. Somebody can call me angry, but if somebody called you angry, that's offensive. Why?
Somebody call me angry when?
No. If you and I got in here and rant and raved about a topic, somebody could call me say, Lindsay, why are you so angry? But if somebody says Angela's an angry black woman, that's offensive.
Because
why is that?
It goes back to the propaganda. Black women are not supposed to be able to express how they feel.
Why? Who says? Says
who?
Who?
Somebody wrote the book, right? And somebody put a movie out. It started way before 2026. So if somebody calls in and say, Lindsay, you're angry, tell us why. But Angela, if they call in and say, man, she needs to calm down. Are you afraid? Because she might do something to you. She's a little bit aggressive. We're not allowed to feel. We're not allowed to express our grief the way we want to express it. Not allowed. We have to follow a script. Well, I'm here to serve you notice. We're off script. You got the new grown-ups have entered the building. We're going off script. We're not just doing it.
I just feel like we should be so far past that.
We should, but we're not.
Carmelo Anthony.
I've not spoken openly about him. I don't want to.
You don't want to?
No, I just don't want to. Oh no.
I respect that. I would never want you to feel talk about something that you don't feel comfortable talking about. Yeah, I look at these situations and
somebody they say you're an angry black person because they can't win the conversation or debate.
Well, my thought process behind asking that was, why is it offensive if it's said to you but not to me?
Why are you not offended?
I don't get offended these days.
You do get bothered now.
Now I was bothered by that girl holding up all that money and grinning ear to ear right after burying her baby because I just thought it was heartless. It just seemed heartless.
In your opinion. But again, black women, we have to toe the line. We have to make sure we're crying on cue and stuff. We grieve differently. Even with Erica Kirk, again, people talk about her like a dog in the black community.
But
why is she not crying? Something ain't right. She don't look like she missed Charlie. And I didn't know she was older than Charlie Kirk until this morning.
Yeah.
She's 37 and he was 30 or 31. Megan Clearman says, I'm going to say I love this conversation. I think more conversations like this need to happen.
They should happen. Too. Absolutely. We shouldn't be afraid to talk to each other or offend each other. We should be able to share how we feel. And that's the only way that you're going to move forward.
I agree. You got some people who say, get out of there, get her out of there, get her out of there. But if I don't ever listen to Lindsay and understand where she's coming from, I'm only listening to a one-sided opinion and I'm being bombarded with the same message all the time. Let me hear what she's got to say. I'm not offended. Say it. Say it with your, matter of fact, say it with your chest.
I'm not offended. Oh, look, don't be like, I can't stick my chest out on here. They already say that I just use my boobs.
Say it with your chest. But you were talking about trans earlier.
Yes.
And I wrote down a comment because you said,
don't get me started on those sociopaths.
Listen, you said your shirt says real women aren't men. And I said, so we better watch out for Father's Day because a lot of people tell women, Happy Father's Day, and I think your baby told
She
you.
sure did.
Your baby told you Happy Father's Day. Now, how you gonna say my baby said this and you said it with your chest, Lindsay?
Well, she said Happy Father's Day because I'm mom and dad in our household. There's not their father's dead. So there's not a father figure in the home. It's me. She doesn't mean I have a penis.
Right. She doesn't mean it. No.
Because there's no such thing as transgender, Angela.
What
there
is it?
are 2 sexes, 0 genders, infinite personalities. Transgenders does not exist. Gender is not a thing. This is something that has been made up.
Exactly. Let's talk about the census. The race is made up. What's white? What's white? What's black? This was just something that we use as a social construct to put people in a box. Now we got, let's add, honey, I've been doing research on the census. They added to that census. It started out with, I think, 6 questions. Then it evolved. Every time they did it, it evolved. More and more questions. And they start breaking down. Can they read? Are they handicapped? Can they walk? Do they know how to write? All types of stuff was added to that census. And you talked about gender. And this is, you said gender does not, how do you say it? How do you
2
say
sexes.
It? 2 sexes.
0 genders.
0 gender.
Infinite personalities.
Infinite personality. You're going somewhere with that.
You can be an orange and paint an orange red, but it's still an orange.
It
underneath.
is. Definitely. And so I don't disagree with you on that. I don't.
Look, we agree, y'all.
You're going somewhere with that. You're right. And it just goes to show you that these subsections, all of this other stuff has been added over the years. And then you say, I'm bothered. We got victory. Did you say the courts passed something? About this transgender?
Yes.
About
so
the girls playing?
The states that have passed laws saying that boys cannot compete in girls' sports. So there were 2 boys. There was a case Little and then West Virginia versus, and they just put those initials. I guess it's a minor, but they took it to the Supreme Court because they were angry. We want to play in the girls' sports. When you put a biological male into a female sport, of course they're going to outperform the female.
He'll hurt her too.
Absolutely. It's not safe.
Now, what's his name? Andrew was talking about there is something out there on YouTube where a young lady was hit with a ball. I don't know if they were playing volleyball or what it was, but and said hurt that girl to the utmost. We can't take a lot of that pain and stuff.
Because genetically we're built different.
We are. And I remember trying to play football with my brother growing up, and you can't come out here. What happened to those guys? What happened to those brothers? You know, not saying girls can't play football, but you got to understand that you run the risk of being handicapped early on, having a lot of issues as a woman. You might feel like you can do it right now, but when you get in your 20s, you're going to feel it faster than a girl who didn't play, in my opinion, and I could be wrong.
You know, I didn't play sports anyway. I didn't like to sweat and get hot. So there's that.
Because you're a beauty queen. She's your queen.
I've never been a big fan of dirt and bugs and outside and sweat.
Okay, Fabian is telling me I got a press conference. So
okay. All right,
wrap it up. Okay, Fabian, I'm on my way.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate you coming in here and having this conversation because it's not easy to, it can get difficult to say things to someone that you know they might not agree with. But I think we need more of it.
We do. And when you hear me talk, this is not just me. This is conversations I've had with people in my community. And this is some of how they feel. I've spoken with professors who talk about the slavery and how the slave patrol started. I also have a master's in criminal justice, but when I come to you and I say something, it's because it's a lot of opinions that I'm trying to express to you on behalf of some of those people. And majority of that stuff I do believe in. I do. But it doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me racist.
Because just because we disagree doesn't make either one of us a bad person.
It doesn't make you racist.
No, it doesn't.
It does not. And I appreciate the fact that you allowed me to come on your platform. We've stayed longer than what you generally do on your show, you know. But I truly
the first hour went by so fast.
It did. I'm like, come on, we need 2 more hours. Like Clay, come on, Clay, donate some hours. But yeah, I don't know that people like me after today, because we didn't agree with the xenotopia thing. But there are a lot of things we do agree on.
Absolutely. And Angela, if this body cam footage comes out and I see that it's not what I think it's going to show, I'm going to be the first one to get right here and say I was wrong.
And that's how I am. I will walk that thing back. If I'm wrong, I will walk it back. But you know, you can't tell people how to feel. So in the meantime, this is your stance. And I respect that. We don't have to agree, but I respect how you feel. I'm waiting on Clay to get that body cam footage, because if they give it to anybody, it's gonna be Clay Edwards.
Clay, get it, Clay. Go get
All right,
it.
girl. Let me go.
All right. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.
See ya.